So this Vaishnava Ninda mainly it becomes when there is a animosity, envy, malice, hatred in the heart. And then any act done to hold the character of other Vaishnava, to bring down other Vaishnava, then that becomes a Vaishnava offense. Then that is considered a very serious offense. Srila Swami in the commentary, he says, Nindanam dosa kirtanam. When one speaks the truth or not narrating or not narrating the fault of a sadhu is considered very beautifully saying. Someone may say, oh, it is a fact that he has a fault. What is wrong if I am pointing out the fault which he has? It is proven also. We have proofs that he has this fault. Still he is saying, Nindanam dosha kirtanam. Spread the fault of that particular Vaishnava. That also comes under Vaishnava. That also comes under Vaishnava offense. In the Bhagavatam first canto, when Parishit Maharaj, he was informed that some person has come, and so he was Kali personified himself, and he was hitting of a bull. So the Parishit Maharaj in Vaishnava tolerate that my one caused pain to the bull. So he reaches on the spot, and then he saw that the three legs of the bull standing the one leg. So although Kali is standing just near next to the bull with a sword in the hand, and the bull without three, only one leg is remaining, the three legs are uh, hit by the Kali. And still Parshit Maharaj being a Vaishnava, he is not judging. If any other person would have come on the place where he finds a person with a sword and then the bull without three legs, naturally he would have judged that, oh, he has done it. But Parishit Maharaj being a Vaishnava, he inquired from bull that who is causing you this pain? The bull was not ordinary bull. The bull was Dharma personified. The bull says, I don't know who is causing me pain. Some people they say it is Deva, it is destiny. Some people they say that it is time, Kala, who brings everyone's suffering to the people. Somebody they say that it is Swabhava, what we have done in the past, and everyone is acting as per their Swabhava. But he does not give definite answer that this Kali is doing and causing this pain to me. So Parishit Maharaj was very wonderstruck that how he is so elevated, so exalted. Although the immediate cause is just in the front, still he is not ready to speak about it. So in the purports of those verses, the Prabhupada says that if somebody has committed some mistake, so naturally he has done something wrong. He mistake to everyone. Then he also also have done beautiful example. He would say, suppose if you are going to some place and then in one corner you find some stool. Suppose in your house you find that some dog has come. Will go over the stool and then you will bring the cleaner and then you will just remove the stool and make the place clean. Is it not? But if suppose somebody comes and he finds the stool in the corner and then he takes the stool by the hand and then he's going around and showing everyone. तो जी देखिए स्टूल कैसा है, सूंघिए थोड़ा इसको, देखिए कैसा है, स्मेल कीजिए. Then he goes to another devotee, Prabhu, please smell this stool, how it is. Please see how it is. So that is Nindanam Dosa. So it is like that. Especially Krishna becomes very unhappy when he finds we are rejoicing in our heart, seeing the fault of other Vaishnava. When we see, oh पकड़ा गया, मेरे को लग ही रहा था ये इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ है. अब पता चला, पता अच्छा बताता है प्रभु जी ने इसको ओसीडी बना दिया, लेकिन अब पता चल रहा है इसके अंदर क्या है। मैं इसके ऊपर जो है पूरा कर दूंगा, मैं सबको बता दूंगा, घोषणा कर दूंगा। और अंदर ही अंदर यू आर रिजॉइसिंग दैट अच्छा हुआ, फाइनली आई गॉट इट, आई फाउंड इट, फाइनली आई मेक एवरीवन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ इज नॉट गुड वैष्णव. So especially when rejoice, seeing the fault in others, then that sort of gives the Lord. The Lord feels, "Arey, what kind of person is he?" Instead of having a compassionate heart for somebody who has committed a mistake, he's rejoicing in the heart. So when Sandipani Rishi saw Krishna and Balram that they are none other than the Supreme Personality of God, and when their education was over, so as a traditional practice, Krishna asked his spiritual master that what dakshina you want from me. With his wife. And then he told that you bring my dead son back. So Krishna, naturally being God, he brought his dead son back. Now this was known to Devaki. When Krishna and Ram they came back to Devaki. That son of yours, can my sons also back? I also had a fortune of having six sons, but then unfortunately they died. Unfortunately, none of them are surviving. So if you can bring them, then I also have a great desire that I want to feed them milk and I want to see them. So Krishna was knowing that where those six sons are. So Krishna goes to Sutalok, where Bali Maharaj is. And then Krishna meets Bali Maharaj and Krishna tells Bali Maharaj that take. And then before that, Krishna tells Bali Maharaj that before taking them, I want to tell you about these six people. And then Krishna said that about these six children, they were sons of Brahma. And once what happened in the process of creation, when Vak Devi came, so Brahma became kind of very attracted to Vak Devi, and he started running behind Vak Devi. Vak Devi means is Saraswati, the own daughter of Brahmaji. So she came and then Brahmaji started running behind. Now seeing this, there were 12 sons of Marichi. So out of the 12 sons, the six sons who were staying in voice, they started praying, my dear Lord, how we can see this happening? Brahmaji is such a great master, great creator, and how can this happen? What the world will, see by seeing such examples. So, my dear Lord, please protect. Brahma is such an exalted personality. He is given such an important service. So, please protect. This should not happen. We are not able to see this, that he is running behind his own daughter. So, these were six sons who were trained. Other six sons, they started laughing. देखो ब्रह्मा जी भी जब भाग रहा है भाई. देखो क्या ब्रह्मा जी का यही हाल है. So these six sons who were laughing on Brahmaji, they got offense. And then next time they take birth in the family of demons. And then again they take birth as Sat Garva to Devaki. And they were killed by Kamsa. And then they come to Sutallo. So Krishna tells Bali Maharaj that see from this example what are the consequences of an offense. Many times we have this thought that, oh, some great soul is there, then I'll try to be careful. But this devotee is staying next to me, close to me. he's not a great soul. I know about him, and he surely has faults. So if even if I do some fault finding, even if I hurt him in some way, that is not a great fault. So that we cannot say. See, which devotee will accelerate his devotional service in what way and at what speed and at what time, we don't know. That is what for some time. And see something, they become very serious Vaishnavas. You did offense to him when he was Allah, very serious, that offense will have a very grave consequence. And even if somebody, what to say of a devotee, Shastra says, even if somebody is a living entity, if we hurt that living entity, then that reaction will come back on us. So that's why Shastra talks about these two principles very amazingly, that our connection to God and our connection to other jivas. These two are very important, and these two connections, they nourish each other. To the extent we are better in connection with other devotees or other jivas, to the extent we have an attitude of service and the attitude of kindness towards other jivas, to that extent our connection to Krishna will be nourished. To the extent we have a more better connection to Krishna, to that extent our connection to the jivas, our service attitude towards others, that will be nourished. They both are sign of each other also. Somebody who says, I have love for the Lord, by default, he will have a selfless, loving, kind heart for other jivas. Somebody whom you see having genuine, selfless, kind heart for only one cannot have genuine, selfless, kind heart for a jiva without having love for the Lord. So both go hand in hand and both nourish each other. So that's why you will find in the Vedic culture, these two things were taught from very beginning. Our Vedic culture is that a child was taught how to connect to God and how to respect all the living entities. In the Vedic culture, parents, they would not become unhappy if the child fails in the exam, but they would become very unhappy if they see a child not respecting. So one is taught in these virtues in our Vedic society. Wants to make other living entity happy. Everyone wants to exploit. Everyone is very self-centric in their approach. Person, they have lost that sensitivity that these acts of mind, they will hurt other living entities. They don't care whether the other living entities are hurt or not hurt. And because of that, we see so much chaos, so much unhappiness in the whole society. So especially as a devotee, we may come from such background, but after we come in the fold of devotion service, then we have to become and learn art of being very sensitive, art of being very respectful, art of valuing devotees, so that we can have the mercy of the Lord. When we value devotees like this, when we value devotees like this, then only we'll have mercy of the Lord. So she those characteristics. You can't do if you happen to see genuine fault in some devotee. So you can just go to his superior who is very closely connected to him and who is guiding him, and just tell him that, and that also without judging, that Prabhu, today morning 4 a.m. I saw this devotee doing this and that. So I just wanted to inform you. So without judging, we can just inform. And then we should not keep it in our mind. Neither we should discuss it with others or spread it to others. Otherwise, it becomes a very great offense. During Prabhupada time, there was one sannyasi, some concerns came. So because of which he was facing some difficulties in his spiritual life. So then Prabhupada had called that sannyasi to his room that you please come, I want to meet you. So when the sannyasi was coming, before that only one devotee who also came to know about the mistakes or the difficulties which the sannyasi is going through. So he spread about it to the all other devotees in the temple. So when the sannyasi was coming to meet Prabhupada, he saw that everyone is talking about my mistake. So he took a U-turn and he went back to not come back again. And this was heard by Prabhupada. And Prabhupada called this devotee who was spreading sannyasi to all other devotees. Prabhupada said, "You are a great disciple and a offensive kirtan." And it is the way for that sannyasi to come back. And sure enough, after some years, this devotee who did Nindanam Dosi Kirtana, he faced similar difficulties in his spiritual life. And then he also had to leave his spiritual life. So we cannot rejoice seeing other devotees struggling. We cannot rejoice seeing other devotees committing some mistake or other devotees having some fault. Krishna is watching it, and Krishna will see, oh, you think yourself to be very great, and you are rejoicing some fault which you are seeing in this Vaishnava. That trying to others that how good Vaishnava, I am much better than him. So these tendencies, they are the tendencies, and they are part of Malais or having a kind of attitude to bring down other Vaishnava. So this very much displeases the Lord. We may not understand, these are subtle things, but in the spiritual life, these small things, these subtle aspects, they only make our attitude. What attitude we carry when we interact with devotees, when we interact with the Lord, what attitude we carry when we chant the holy names of the Lord, all small things. When we are things will then you will find when you will feel a lot of connectivity and devotion for the deities. When you get opportunity to chant the holy names of the Lord, you will feel very happy with that opportunity to chant the holy names of the Lord. You will be able to see the divine aspect of the holy names of the Lord. Why? Because your attitude has become very refined, and that's why Krishna is giving you mercy. In Updesa Amrit also, we see that Prabhupada writes, the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of a person. So when we understand the Lord has given to me, to purify one person, and that one person is myself. We should not become happy in seeing fault others. We should not become happy seeing that, oh, he has fault. We should not think that it is my service to broadcast his fault. We should not feel, oh, that I have to expose him. Otherwise, big disservice will happen to the whole world. We don't have to worry. We have to worry about only one person, that is myself. If I see fault, see that Krishna is testing me, that I should not spread this fault. Krishna is testing, and I have feeling to help this Vaishnava. How much I don't have this attitude of becoming happy by seeing the mistake of others. So you have to see this whole world is a platform for improving ourselves, for improving our consciousness. Even if you happen to see the fault, keep it yourself and just speak to the devotee to whom that respected devotee is very nicely connected. And have a very kind feeling, well-wishing feeling, prayerful heart. You see the 6 sons of Marich, pray to the Lord. Someone like Brahma running behind, please protect him, please protect him. Like that. देखो जस्टिफाइड, अरे ब्रह्मा होके अपने आप को बचा नहीं पाता है, ब्रह्मा होके ये सब कार्य कर रहा है, यू नो. So Sridhar Swami is saying Nindanam dosa Kirtanam. Especially in Kali Yuga, it becomes very difficult to not do this. Kali Yuga is a age because of such a fast communication and so many things. Anything people come to know, sometimes they start putting it on and so. And not knowing that they're spoiling their bhakti also and they're spoiling bhakti of others also. One of the biggest disease which we have is this aspect. So most of the time the Prajalpa may start with some general talk, but then most of the time it may end with some criticism or some fault finding of other devotees. And we should try to avoid also association of such people who have this nature or a habit of talking ill about others. So one has to be very careful. This Prajalpa eats our bhakti. There is one devotee in ISKCON, Haridas Prabhu. So he was giving one Bhagavatam class in the morning. So he spoke very beautifully. He said, जो हम लाखों की भक्ति सुबह करते हैं वो चवन्नी की प्रजल्पा में दिन में गवा देते हैं. So very beautifully he was saying that we so nicely we do Mangal Arati, Narsim Arati, Tulsi Arati, then for 2 hours we chant the holy names of the Lord. So that is like lakhon ki bhakti. That is like lakhon ki bhakti which we do in the morning. But then in the afternoon time or in the daytime we speak Prajalpa, where we may criticize some devotee or speak ill of some devotee. So whatever spiritual credit we got in the morning, but just of by speaking some things here and there. And as a devotee, do not have very loose talk also, loose also. It is not beneficial because we may then tend to speak fault or we may end up criticizing devotees. So as a devotee means one has to be very grave when it comes to speaking about other Vaishnavas, when it comes to dealing with other Vaishnavas. One has to be very sensitive what they will like, what they will be happy with. One has to be very sensitive. Otherwise, if we don't learn this, then we'll not be able to grow. And Vaishnavism is a very personal process. So we learn this personalism by having interactions with other devotees. The more refined, the more mature we become in interaction with other devotees, then that much we learn this aspect of being personal. Otherwise, sometimes we may have impersonal tendencies. So one thing is we talk ill about other Vaishnavas, or we may try to find fault in other Vaishnava, or we may have impersonal tendencies where we may not value other Vaishnavas, we may not be so grateful to other Vaishnavas, we may neglect other Vaishnavas, we may not be sensitive to the needs of Vaishnavas. We should be negative, meaning where we are putting or criticizing, and nor we should be neutral, where we are just impartial. We have to vote in the mode of service, where we want to serve them. Then further he says, a specific way to nullify the offense to sadhu on the path of bhakti. So if we have committed some offense, then how we can nullify? So that person, he should repent. Oh, I am such a low class person. I have committed an offense to a saintly person. A person who has been burned by fire seeks relief in fire. Krishno samyati taptaha krishnanu evayam. Fire is nullified by the fire of remorse. Anutapaha, pashyatapaha. So what is mentioned is, if by mistake or somehow we happen to offend some devotee, then first thing is we should have repentance in our heart. We should genuinely feel that how this mistake I have done. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this Devanand Pandit, one character comes. So Devanand Pandit was known for his attachment to Srimad Bhagavatam. He was so attached that whole day, either he would read Srimad Bhagavatam or he would speak Srimad Bhagavatam. That was his life. And he was so famous for speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam. So once he was speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srivas Thakur, hearing that Devanand Pandit is speaking, who was very famous everywhere for speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srivas Pandit also came to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Now when Srivas Pandit was hearing the description from Devanand Pandit, so he became so happy and then he got ecstatic symptoms. He started manifesting and starting and the teeth started biting each other, the sound started coming. So the disciples of Devanand Pandit, they thought that he is disturbing our hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. In front of Devanand Pandit, they caught hold of Srivas Thakur and then they brought him out of the class. This was seen by Devanand Pandit, but then still he did not corrected his disciples. So that's why it became an offense. So later on, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to know about Devanand Pandit, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu is going, and then Nityananda Prabhu tells Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, this is the house of Devanand Pandit. He's a great Pandit and he's very attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu says, I will not go to his house. He's a great offender. Mahaprabhu says he has offended Srivas Thakur. He could not understand the devotion of Srivas Thakur. And then this was conveyed to Devanand Pandit. And Devanand Pandit that time realizes his mistake that I have done a great offense to a great devotee, Srivas Thakur. So he started repenting that what I have done and what a mistake I have done, how fallen I am. Now, but generally what happens, if you have committed an offense to Vaishnava, then you repent in the heart and then you go to that respective Vaishnava and then you ask forgiveness. Now, Devanand Pandit was thinking, if I go to Srivas Thakur, Srivas Thakur is such a humble Vaishnava, if I go and tell him that, Prabhu, I did a great offense to you, please forgive me. Srivas Thakur will say, no, you never committed any mistake. You never did any offense. It was my mistake. Proper Bhagavatam class was going on and I was not sensitive. I started crying there in the class and I was not able to stop myself. So there was no mistake on the part of the disciples. So there is no Pandit Hibal Vaishnava, what to think, he will consider that what I did is an offense. So then there is no point was but he want to get rid of this offense which has happened to Srivas Thakur. So this also sometime it may happen that the devotee may not take offense. Devotee being very humble and exalted, he may not take offense, but Krishna will take that offense. Devotee may forgive, but if we are not understanding our mistake and if we are not repenting and actually trying to get rid of that offense, then Krishna will not forgive. So this Devanand Pandit thought now what to do. If I go to Srivas Thakur, then anyways, he being a humble Vaishnava, he will not agree only. So then what he did was that there was another devotee, Varkeshwar Pandit. So he thought I will go and serve him. And he just wanted to serve. He was not going that, oh, I will just go and serve him. And then I will ask him that you go and tell Mahaprabhu that, see how nicely I am serving you. And in that way, Mahaprabhu will become very happy. No, he just wanted to serve him without any expectation, selflessly. So he started serving him, serving him, serving him, serving him. And he became so pleased by the service of Devanand Pandit that when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu is such a nice Vaishnava, so selflessly serves. And Mahaprabhu being a Lord sitting in the heart of Devanand Pandit also could realize that he genuinely repented for it and he genuinely wanted to serve Vaishnavas now. So then Mahaprabhu forgave Devanand Pandit. This is how somebody has committed an offense to a Vaishnava. Then when he sincerely serves Vaishnava selflessly till the time he pleases, then that offense is nullified. It is said that if an offense is done to a Vaishnava, if suppose you go to that Vaishnava and that Vaishnava is so unhappy and angry that he is not willing to forgive that offense also, then we should serve that Vaishnava. And how long we should serve? We should keep serving that Vaishnava till the time he becomes so pleased that he forgives us. So best practice is that we don't offend only. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get rid of this offense. And these offenses, they remain till bhava platform. Can you imagine? When Anartha Nivriti happens, most of the anarthas are cleared at this stage of Anartha Nivriti when one reaches to the Nishta. But as far as offenses to the Vaishnavas, they remain till bhava. Srila Jiva Goswami says that how come Bharat Maharaj, who was so exalted to such an extent, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam, that he just left the whole kingdom and just like a person passes his stool and never looks back. Such detachment. And he had such love for the Lord that when he is going in the forest, tears are coming in his eyes in ecstasy. He is having such remembrance of the Lord. So someone who had such level of devotion, who was on the bhav platform, how can he become attached to a deer? So then Srila Jiva Goswami says, in his previous life, Bharat Maharaj committed some offense. And the residue of that offense was remaining in the present life. And because of that residue of offense, he became attached to deer. See, one thing is when you practice spiritual life, so process of Krishna consciousness, you become detached with something and you will have some action for spiritual life. But if we commit offense, then start having again attraction for material things, and our attraction for spiritual things will start reducing. Holy name will appear mundane. Chanting the holy names of the Lord will become very difficult. Whatever taste you had for chanting or spiritual activities, that will go down. And suddenly material desires will come. Attraction for material things will happen. Why? Because some offenses are happening. So for Bharat Maharaj, can you imagine, even from the platform of Bhava, someone who was emperor of the whole world and was so detached that left everything, and having such devotion that tears are coming, but then still he fell down. Why? Because of residue of offenses. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says that somebody who wants to become a Vaishnava or devotee, he should take one vow. I will never offend a sadhu. You have to be very careful on this aspect. And Krishna is very strict on this aspect. Can you imagine when Indra tried to water down the whole Vrajavasis? So Krishna became so unhappy. Although Indra came and asked forgiveness from Krishna, but Krishna was not very pleased. He was so unhappy that he was not willing to look also at the face of Indra. Same thing we see in the case of Brahmaji also. So Lord becomes extremely displeased when he finds that some offense has happened like that. So he is saying, Anutapaha Pasya Tapaha. If such offense has happened, then one has to sincerely repent. So according to this logic, he should nullify the offense by lamenting, resolving to come before the Vaishnava, falling at his feet, and satisfying him by offering his obeisances, praises, and respect. If the Vaishnava is not satisfied, the person should render favorable service to him according to his desires for many days. Sometimes the offense is so grievous that one starts best for uh, getting rid of that offense which has happened. Another that Arup, he was he was meditating on the past time which was happening in the spiritual world. So when he was deep meditating in the samadhi like this, so that time one Brahmana was coming and he was a lumping Brahmana. He had some problem in the leg, so he was lumping while walking. So Srila Rupa Goswami, who with his closed eyes was meditating on a pastime which was happening in the spiritual world. So something happened in the spiritual world because of which he laughed. And this Vaishnava who was lumping, looking at Srila Rupa Goswami, he thought that he is laughing on me. And even without clarifying with Srila Rupa Goswami, even without talking to Srila Rupa Goswami, he just took that offense in his heart and came. In one way, if you see, there is no mistake on the part of Srila Rupa Goswami. Because with his closed eyes, he is meditating and he happened to see something in the spiritual world and he is laughing. But still, because that Vaishnava took it in his heart as an offense, it became offense. And suddenly the samadhi of Srila Rupa Goswami broke. And again now, Srila Rupa Goswami was trying to connect to the same pastime in the spiritual world. But because of this offense, now he was not able to connect again. So he was wondering what happened. So then he came to Sanatan Goswami and he inquired from Sanatan Goswami that what happened, why I'm not able to meditate again. Then Sanatan Goswami tells Srila Rupa Goswami, surely you have committed some offense. And he said, but how? I was just sitting at one place and meditating, how I can commit some offense to someone? Srila Sanatan Goswami says, surely because you are not able to connect back to the pastime in the spiritual world. Surely some offense has happened. So now there are two versions of the story. One version says that this lumping Brahmana before came to Sanatan Goswami and he revealed to him that I don't know, I have full faith, Srila Goswami is a genuine, but I don't know, he was laughing when I was walking. And then later on when Srila Goswami comes to Sanatan Goswami clarifies from Srila Goswami what happened. And Srila Goswami narrates Sanatan and then the offense was uh, taken care of. Another version says that Goswami comes to Sanatan Goswami and Sanatan some offense has happened. Rupa Goswami thinks now how to know who is offended by me. Then Sanatan Goswami says, you organize a feast and you call all the devotees of Vrindavan for the feast. If someone does not come, that means he is offended by you. So then they organize a feast and everyone comes except this lumping Brahmana. And then Rupa Goswami comes to know that he is offended. Then Rupa Goswami goes to him and clarifies. And in that way, he asks forgiveness. And then that offense was nullified. So one has to know that offense to Vaishnava devotee is very serious. We have to be extra careful or extremely careful when it comes to dealing with other devotees. We have to know they are very dear to Krishna. Especially somebody who is in touch with ISKCON, he is very special. He is very specially connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada. It is not a joke to chant 16 rounds daily. Somebody who has received mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, only he can chant 16 rounds daily. It's not a joke to not eat anything outside in Kali Yuga, to follow four regulative principles in Kali Yuga. We have to know the devotees with whom we are associating, they are not normal. They are very dear to the Lord. And we can make a lot of advancement by seeing good qualities in such devotees. We can make a lot of advancement by seeing the devotees as an object of our service. And on the contrary, if we do other things, where we find fault and offense, then that will be we will spoil our spiritual life. So instead of trying to find fault or instead of trying to judge others, we have to cultivate the art of seeing good qualities in devotees. We have to see opportunity to serve devotees. So like we get opportunity to do sadhana serving. So in one lecture, Radheshampu was telling two kinds of devotees they do prasadam serving. He was giving this talk to brahmachari. He was telling that two kinds of devotees they do prasadam. One they means new joinees because they have other sir. Second, he told those who know value of serving West. Radheshampu is so senior, still you will find him time and again taking out time for serving, doing prasadam serving to the devotees. So as a devotee living in a community with devotees, we should focus on these two things. Seeing good in others, we have to, if your mind says, see, that devotee has this fault, then we should tell our mind, okay, you have seen one fault in that devotee. Now tell me three good qualities about that devotee or four good qualities about that devotee. In that way, we have to train our. Second is, when we stay with devotees, we should look for opportunities to serve devotees. See, generally devotees, they will not take service, correct? But we have to look for opportunities. So like prasadam serving is an opportunity where we can serve, or some other uh, opportunity may come. Suppose cook has gone, cook is not there in the voice. Then it is a good opportunity. If you have time, then you go and you cook for all devotees. What opportunity to cook and serve by feeding all the devotees. So we should become very happy and we should look for such opportunity to serve. And if we cultivate these two aspects where we are appreciating others and looking for opportunity to serve, you will find we will be so much blessed by the Lord. Krishna will be so much happy by seeing us having this mood to glorify other devotees and serve other devotees. And that is what we are looking for. We are looking for making Krishna happy and we are looking for the mercy of the Lord. And if we get the mercy of the Lord, then our life can be perfect. Okay, so we'll end here. And I think we'll continue this. We could cover first two slides only. So we'll continue this Lakshman 2 next time. Okay?